Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this Tacoma. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Brian. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 278 horsepower and then 265 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 18 around town and then 22 on the highway. Now let's go to the front end of the TRD Sport. So first off, you guys can see we have the cool venting piece there in the center. And then coming down below, this actually has Toyota's upgraded LED lights. So you guys can see here with the daytime running light and with the headlights, really cool distinctive look. And we got the fog lights down below. And then notice we got the metallic gray grille with the Toyota logo there, front and center. And then look at how the bumper's molded to basically, make it a little bit more off-road ready. But even though it's molded to be more off-road ready, this does have the Tacoma's larger air dam, which, helps it be more aerodynamic, but obviously makes it so that it's less good off-road. So it's mixed, but there's the front end. Love the lights. Coming on the side here, tire and wheel setup is 265, 65, 17 in the front and in the rear. And you guys can see the wheel design. You got the silver on the top and the black below. It's kind of like a classic sporty looking wheel. And then we've got the body painted fender flares here with this truck. Now with the Tacoma, we do have independent front suspension. There's a quick look at that. And one last thing I want to show you guys before we go through the rest of the side view is actually with the sequential kind of like turn signal look that this has with the front light. I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's a cool feature. But anyways, here's our full side view on the TRD Sport, as you can see. And notice this says TRD 4x4 Sport there on the back end. And then we do still have leaf springs here in the rear with the Tacoma. And then we do have a solid rear axle. Then got a little exhaust tip. So here's our key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function and then the Toyota logo there on the back. Now dropping down the tailgate, notice that it does slow lower down, which is cool. Payload capacity is 990 pounds. And then you guys can see we've got the composite bed here with the Tacoma, which is definitely a nice feature. We do have a power outlet here in the bed as well. Now with the tailgate itself, a little bit more on the heavy side of things, so you got to make sure you're hitting the gym so you can lift up your Tacoma tailgate. And well, let's just finish up with the rest of the rear. Have these signature Tacoma taillights here, and then notice with our V6 badge Tacoma stamped into the bottom of the bed. Got the receiver hitch down below, and that's the rear. Now let's go over the door panel here in the rear. You guys can see we've got some padding where you'd rest your arm, and pretty normal with the controls. And we've got some cup holders down below. And again, pretty basic with the material use throughout, but that's kind of what the Tacoma is all about, right? Utilitarian truck. And then here are the seats. I love the design here in the center. It's like little lightning bolts almost or something. But popping in, ooh, there's your legroom. There's the headroom. We got some cup holders here. And then you guys can see with the storage pocket on the passenger side. Driver's side passenger doesn't get any storage space, funny enough. And then I'm actually going to pop back out because we got the strap up here that we can pull forward. And then you guys can see behind the seat there. There's kind of like a better look at the whole setup. Now last thing I want to show you guys is underneath the seat. So just pull this forward and yeah, kind of a cool little feature with Tacoma, but so you go. Now here's the front door panel. You can see again with the padding here, we've got all of our window controls, and those front two are automatic. And then, normal stuff like door lock and unlock, mirror adjustment. And here's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then here the front seat, well here's the front seat rather. And then notice again with the pattern, and then actually down below you guys will be able to see it a little bit better. Here's that payload sticker I showed you guys earlier, 990 for the payload. And then power adjustments here on the side of the seat. And we have the pedal layout, and then notice it says Tacoma TRD Sport, and that's for the cargo light stability control there. Turn on the outlet, and let's pop in. So here's our steering wheel. You guys can see the leather padding at the top and at the bottom, and notice it's perforated here on the sides to get a slightly better grip. We have our turn signal slash light stock. We have our windshield wiper stock on the other side. And now let's dive into the front of the steering wheel. I'm doing things backwards. We're mixing things up today. Volume controls, voice command controls, phone controls. And then we have stuff like our cruise control and lane keep assist system. And notice the stock is kind of like behind, which has always been interesting. Controls for the center stack, and well, there's the steering wheel. So here is the center gauge cluster. You guys can see analog gauges on either side. Now I can scroll through some different menus here to see different bits of info on the Tacoma itself. This is the important side of things, right? The fuel economy. It's what you want to go through. But other than that, pretty simplistic. And you know, it's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Here's our center infotainment screen. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines. Now they don't turn with the steering wheel, as you can see, fixed. But resolution's okay. Now, buttons on the outside, which are kind of like your shortcut buttons here, so you can press that and notice that pretty good response time with those. And then when you press different functions in the screen, also solid response time. So I think they've done a pretty good job with this system. And then you've got the vents here, circular vents all over. And then look at the same material use that's on like the door panel is also there on the dash. And then again, you got that plasticky utilitarian design. We do have a dual zone climate system just down below, and then we've got our drive line select right here. So it's just this dial that you twist to put it into four-wheel high. Now for four-wheel low, you do have to like push in, but also make sure you have the truck in neutral. And then we have our ECT power to give you a little bit of extra power, especially while towing. That helps out there. And then off-road, you could use it too. Power setting window in the rear. And then we've got like our little charging area here, their wireless phone charging pad. Couple of cup holders, and then shifter for that 6-speed automatic. It does have a manual shift function, and then some more storage space, and then even more storage space, some USBs, and then there's like a little cable thread through. Glove box that says Tacoma on the front. Pretty normal setup. And then we do have a sunglass holder here at the top, and then just a darker colored headliner, nothing fancy. So here is our window sticker for this TRD Sport. As you guys can see, most everything is standard equipment on the TRD Sport. We've got a base price of $38,380. Now, you do have those upgraded lights. Definitely well worth the $485. Like, if you're going to get an option, you got to get the lights. They look cool, and they improve visibility by a massive amount. After destination and all that fun stuff, $40,458, which makes this a pretty dang affordable pickup truck. And there's a lot of bugs. Let's take this out for a drive of sorts. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood. It's cool to see the hood scoop there in the center. Both the mirrors and throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, let's set off on our test drive of sorts. So basically, this is what I do for vehicles that either are pre-sold or have a sale pending on them. I show you guys me taking it back to the parking space, because I'm not going to go and take this out on the road if there's one of those two things happening with the vehicle, just out of respect of the potential future owner or of the future owner of this truck. But anyways, with the Tacoma, I'm super impressed with like how this truck still feels today, because yes, you know, it does have quite a bit of stuff that, you know, kind of dates it, but like it's super reliable. It's really comfortable to drive. And I mean, there's a reason why I purchased a 4Runner, which I know a 4Runner is not a Tacoma, but like Toyotas just have this feeling to them, especially like, you know, the Tacoma and the 4Runner, that just not a lot of other modern cars can capture. And so yeah, it's just it's an experience. You have to drive one to understand. If you're used to like bougie modern luxury cars, then you're probably like, oh, this is slow. And you know, when you open the door, it makes a sound that doesn't sound like what I want. It doesn't have soft close, you know, all the modern fancy stuff. But like what this does have is, again, reliability. And it's just easy. Everything just makes sense. It's easy to use. It's easy to drive. And the thing I love about Tacomas and 4Runners is like you go over bumps and the suspension's so squishy. So the handling's not great, but because the suspension's so squishy, like we're going down this little dip, it's comfortable. Like it doesn't like jar you or anything like that. It's great. So still a fan of the Tacoma. We should get a new one relatively soon, like 2024 model year, it sounds like, potentially. Don't have that confirmed yet. But let me know what you guys think about the TRD Sport package. As for my opinions on this package, I think this is a great package if you're not going to do any off-roading. You can still off-road this because, again, ultimately it still does it's a 4x4, so like it can go off-road. But obviously it doesn't have all the cool off-road goodies of like a TRD off-road, for example. But I think this looks cool. I think this is a great on-road truck, and it's super affordable. Like, you can't go wrong with this. Again, I'm trying to review more affordable packages. This is a great affordable pickup truck, $40,000, which is like $10,000 less than the average price of a brand new car in today's market. That's all. Let me know what you guys think. That's going to sum things up with our video on this TRD Sport. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Lurch Miller Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with this TRD Sport. Check out the info in the description down below. Ask for Brian if you have any questions. I'll see ya.